can insert a break, and then we can come back and say, hey, last time we got everything we need to subsist. We could basically live this way forever as long as we don't make too many houses. So we are in subsistence mode and we are fine, and we can't die unless something crazy happens. This turn we're going to try to work on getting the trading post up, which will bring in disease, which will force us to get the hospital and the marketplace, a well to put out fires, I guess, and an herbalist to bring medicine to the hospital, and then we'll hopefully build a farm. That's the goal. Let's get to it, see what happens. So, speaking of wells, I should probably build a well. Because it's always funny to have a fire and be like, oh, we need a well, and then like try to build the well before your city burns down. There it is. I love that you can just place a well anywhere. It doesn't need to be near water or anything. Kind of silly. We should put it in an area that makes it easy to get to for everyone. So, including people that don't live in this town center. Right on the exiting edge of the town is a good place for a well. Hey, we finished our stone quarry? No, we didn't. We still need to remove a lot of junk. We need a lot of laborers to get that done. But the mine is getting worked on because it doesn't need as many laborers, of which we have 0. These two guys actually kind of work as laborers because we're full on logs and we're full on wood. Although the idea of being full on logs kind of bugs me. Oh, whatever, we'll leave it. Because if you're full on logs, then they'll keep planting trees, but they won't chop them down. Whereas if we increase the limit, then they'll chop down a tree, plant a new one, chop down a tree, plant a new one, which will reduce the overall food that we get from our gatherer's hut. You might notice that I keep squinting. This is to try to prevent myself from sneezing. It's good times. Our tailor needs to make more clothes, although we still have 17. And I don't know that we have any leather. Let's check. Oh, look at that. We should really make a storage barn. This house is not being worked on because it needs a laborer to remove that tree. That little cute little shrub. We don't have any laborers. But once one of our educated people graduates, they can go chop down that tree. You really need to be taught a lot in school, like how to read, so that you know how to chop down a tree. It makes a lot of sense. The hospital's also not being worked on, partially because it's paused, but partially because there's a lot more stuff that laborers need to do to clear the way. Clear the way. Oh, our laborers are over here removing stuff, so it looks good. Quarry's going to be done soon. You think we should have a guy working the mine just because we have a mine? That seems like a waste. We don't have people to spare to work a mine for no reason. It just seems like a waste to build a mine and then not put a guy on it, you know? So our average happiness is getting lower. Part of that is medicine and the hospital. Hospitalement. But that's okay. Once our population is more booming, we can do things more quickly. For now, we're kind of just watching it happen slowly. Slowly but steadily. We're out of wood. How are we out of wood? Is this guy making wood? Yes. He's chopping wood. We're just burning it down faster than we chop. Oh no, it's because we're building houses? No. What's going on? We have lots of logs, but we don't have any firewood. And then this house has only 91 firewood. So we're having a wood chopper issue. What's wrong with you, wood chopper? Let's watch him for a while. Looks like he's not going very far to get wood. There's wood right next to him. He's chopping wood. He's doing his job. Why isn't he keeping up? I've never had to build a second wood chopper, even with 60 people. I guess his house is so far away from where he works, and he gets cold quickly. His clothing is in fair condition. Looks like now he's walking back to his house to get something to eat. So he's spending a lot of time walking to his house. Be nice if he lived near where he works. Yeah, I would be unhappy if I had to, you know. When I consider building a stone quarry, man, that does not seem like fun work. So if you built the stone quarry and then no one was even assigned to get stone from it, that does seem like it would be disheartening to the people who built it. Oh well. So currently we have a lot of inefficiency from people having to walk home in between tasks, and that's leading to a wood shortage. We're up to 22 people, so we are steadily increasing our population, although we're pretty short on houses. Once one of these people becomes a grown-up, I'm going to have them on full-time house-making duties until we have about... How do you see how many families you have? I think you need a town hall to see your family count. You start with 4 families. I assume that by now I probably have 6 or 8 or 10 families. Let's just assume we have at least 6 families. We would want at least 6 houses, man. But we got to finish our stone quarry first. Is there anything we have massive excess of that we can stop? This. Let's take some of our foresters off foresting duty. And put them on building. No, that's not what I meant. I meant take people off like that. Alright, get some more builders. Maybe a laborer. You can chop down the trees needed to start some stuff. So, I need 4 people here, 4 people here, 1 person there, and 4 people here. So 13 people. How many houses do you think you need to put 14 people in? Like at least 3. So... But I don't know, it's going to reduce the efficiency of my buildings to chop down trees in exchange for houses. It seems silly. We'll have 3 houses. We'll have the bare minimum. Bare minimum of house. Looks like we gained another adult. Yay! Paddington Bear the adult. These stones are designated to be pulled out. That's why there's little yellow X's under them. But we don't have the laborers to do anything. We're not out of iron, so... Oh, there we go. Stone quarry is done. And it looks like we already have 2 people mining stone. That seems weird. No, wait. No, those are builders. 2 people assigned to build. Never mind. It's not done. It's just ready to be built. We're done gathering the raw materials. Material. I think that we'll have officially enough houses when nobody lives in any of these houses or this house. So we need a lot more houses. We'll build a house by the mine. Boop. And a house by the stone quarry. Maybe several houses by the stone quarry. And a road so that they can, like, do stuff. Like, what's this? A stockpile? Yeah, okay. Stockpile makes sense. Somewhere to put our stone once we've taken it out of the quarry. Alright. Then we're going to need a gatherer's hut somewhere over there. I think we already have a gatherer's hut way down here, but it's not being built. So we've got a lot of unpaused building. We've got 25 build jobs, man. Our food is staying steady. Shrinking clothes supply. Just make a few clothes. Just 1 or 2. We've got 48 leather, so just make 48 more clothes, and then we'll be good. Look at all this area that we're just kind of wasting on spillover. We should probably make a storage barn. But I don't know. Thing is, I would want the storage barn on the left side of the town so that people who have to walk over to fill their house with food from the storage barn would be, you know, I don't know. Currently, this is the stupidest place for it, so building it anywhere would be better than letting it just sit there. But it takes up so much room. We have so little room in our town center that I don't want to just throw up a storage barn. Although I think you can walk through here and through here, so this is a reasonable place for it. We'll make little roads. Whoop. Like that. Alright, now we have 27 build jobs. I'm being really disciplined about only building 1 building at a time, right? The opposite of that. Go, teacher, go. She's only teaching 2 students, and there's only 1 child left to be educated after those 2 students, so I don't know about this whole teacher concept. We'll see, we'll see. Actually, we won't see, because it's not like I'm doing a scientific experiment to find out how effective the teacher is. I just made one, and I hope that helps, but I don't know how to tell if it'll help. For example, one way we could tell would be to click, this is educated yes, educated no, educated no. So we have 2 uneducated and 2 educated people on the gatherer's hut. So what we could do is reduce the gatherer's hut population to exactly 2 people, let it run for a month while both of those people are educated, then reassign uneducated people there and let it run for another month and compare the output. But I'm not going to do that. That just seems like more work than is necessary. Teaching must help at least a little bit, so we'll just let people teach. We're up to 3 builders and 2 laborers, 4 builders and 1 laborer. Get building, y'all! What are we currently working on? Whoa, really unhappy. Does it say why she's unhappy? No, she's just not very happy. That's not helpful. I mean, I know that education and healthcare tend to generate happiness in other games. And when you mouse over the herbalist thing, it says that it provides health and healing for citizens. I assume that would make them happy to have some medicine. Alcohol. Alcohol makes people happy. We can make alcohol out of berries, but we're already having trouble keeping up on food as it is. We need a big food surplus in order to dedicate some of that food to become alcohol. And I've got 25 build jobs to work my way through before I can even consider making other buildings. It's not good, man. Too many buildings, too many things that need doing, and not enough people to do them. Ooh, stockpile full over there. I'm going to make another gatherer's hut over here and then pause it so that it doesn't get built. Just to remember where I want the next one. And this one should probably be paused since it's not getting built anyway. Let's pause everything. So hopefully the next thing to be built will be that house. Although, why are there 20 build jobs? I don't see... I guess there's a lot of houses over here. Down to 12 build jobs. I wish there was a button that... Actually, there probably is a button that alternates through or currently worked on buildings so that I could go through and pause the ones that I don't need. Don't need the storage barn. We're down to 8 build jobs, so something is getting built pretty quickly, but I don't know what it is. What are you working on, builders? Is anyone working on an actual building? No. This builder's idling. It says that I have 8 jobs for you, and yet you're idling? What sense does that make? I feel like I paused every single building and there's still 8 build jobs. Maybe the build jobs are to build roads. Come on, buddy. Show me what building's being worked on. Is that a building? It's a building, but it's not being worked on. I don't know what to do. It says that I have 8 build jobs and I don't know how to tell where they are. I guess I'll just pick a building and unpause it and see if that helps. Oh, here's one. So now we're down to 6 build jobs. Ooh, another one. Now we're down to 4 build jobs. Come on, one more building. I'm a-hunting for the buildings down that building hunting road. What I need to find is a building that's ready to be built because it's already had its stuff removed, because we have a distinct lack of laborers because we told them to gather up all the stone over here. So all of our laborers are off gathering stone and none of them are actually... oh, the well. I bet the well is the current build job. Yeah, there it is. And nobody's chopping down the tree, so the well can't be built. So now we're down to 0 build jobs. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So now let's get these things built one at a time. Well, I want you to have... Oops. I want you to be built first. But in order for that to happen, we need to chop down a tree. In order to chop down a tree, we need our laborers to labor. So let's undesignate all of our labor except for cutting down the trees necessary for these jobs. Whoop, whoop. We were almost done anyway, so no big deal. Alright, that should get the well built in no time flat. Then we'll make the houses. Man, you need to micromanage a lot of stuff. I guess if you just don't designate clear cutting, then you don't need to micromanage anything. But when you tell people to clear cut, that's all they do. Yay, and now the well is actually being built. Great. Next we want these 2 houses. I think this should go quick now that we have our laborers actually clearing stuff. That was a simple little problem, but it led to disasters. Nah, there's no disasters. We're fine. It led to annoyances. Yeah, we're fine. We're down to 191 logs. Our foresters are actually doing something. Do we need more foresters, or are we good with 2? I think we're good with 2. Nice. Wooden house is ready. This wooden house is also ready. The well is being built. Good times, good times. We have lots of raw materials, so all this stuff is getting built really quickly now that we actually have laborers. The barn's going up. We need at least 1 house across the way. Although, I don't know if we do actually, because no workers are assigned to work across the way, so why build a house? Oh, I guess we'll build 1 house across the way. And we'll put 1 guy on stone hauling and 1 guy on mining. Go house, be built. Awesome. So once this is done, we will go over and make the gatherers' huts, and then all of our stuff will be built so we can make the trade depot. We're up to 20 adults and 4 kids, so we got 24 population. We started, I think, with 19, maybe 21 this episode. So our lack of houses is making our pop grow super slowly, but that's the way we like it, man. If you grow too quickly, then you run out of food and everyone dies. That's not cool. I want to see my little stone quarry worker guy. Are you in there? No, it's a deer. There's a deer working the quarry. That's not right. There he is. What's he doing? He's idling. I told him to be a stone worker. Why are you idle? That doesn't make sense. Oh, now he's working in the mine instead of... Okay. What you doing, little guy? Oh, it's Princesa. Princenza. Princenza. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I bet Google Translate does. Google Translate knows how to pronounce everything. Process nounce. Hey, our storage barn is done. Let's see if we can blow this up now. Or should we even? Yeah, we'll leave it. I don't want to assign a bunch of labor jobs to carry stuff out of there. Plus it's tiny and it holds food. It seems like that's a good thing. I wish I could build more starting carts rather than deleting the one we have. The idea of wanting to delete the one we have comes from... Ooh, stone cutter and a wood cutter. Nice. Comes from, what's it called? Dwarf Fortress, because it just makes sense in that game. But in this game it doesn't. So leave it alone. Because you can't add more stuff to the storage pile in Dwarf Fortress. Like, it's just your starting stuff. But in this game, they'll keep storing food in it all game. So it seems like a good thing. Alright. We'll make a house and a gatherer and a forester's lodge and a hunter's lodge. And more houses. We need 3 houses up here. We'll make the road run past everything. Okay. Up to 16 build jobs, but they're all happening quickly because we got laborers with nothing better to do than help. We're up to 2,467 food, so for some reason we're gaining food. It could be our educated food workers. I didn't change anything to make us get food faster, except for that. So it looks like education wins. Yay for education! Although it's possible that having the storage barn helped in some way. I remember reading that if you don't have a storage, or if your storage barn is full, then people won't harvest plants from farms. I don't know if the same thing is true from a gatherer's hut. Looks good. We'll go up to... Oh, never mind. I was going to say we're down to 87 logs, so we should increase the number of foresters we have, but we need our laborers and builders to build and labor. Looks good. Everything's built. So now let's unpause everything. We'll unpause you and you. The hospital and the houses. And the gatherer's hut, and we'll even make a road over to the gatherer's hut. And then we'll put a house next to it. And there we go. Now we've got 27 build jobs, and everyone's going to build them, and it's all going to be happy. Yay for houses. Ooh, we actually have houses that aren't full now. That's great. Do we have anyone still living at home? Nope. The boarding house is empty. Looks like our population is going to skyrocket now because we built so many new houses. We got 5 new kids, up to 27 population. Our trading post should be the next thing built, I think. But we ran out of logs, so we do need to increase the number of foresters. I want to know if anyone's actually working over here, and if so, whether they're spending all of their time walking back and forth between town, because the nearest food stockpile is way over here. So what they do is they hunt an animal, they catch it, they bring the food to this barn, and then when they're hungry they go to the barn and get some food. So there's a lot of walking between here and there, and I don't know that that's going to go over so well. Let's see if we can shorten the walk distance, but still, maybe we should make another food barn over here. Maybe even on the other side of this, so that we can like expand over to this area. I don't know if that's good or not. It seems to make some sense, but it's also using up precious foresting space, reducing the efficiency of the things that we're building out here anyway, so let's not do it yet. I downloaded this from my missus last night because she loves settlers, but now she wants to know when she gets to kill people. It's a good question. If you don't feed them, they die. It's that easy. What is Settlers? Is that a game? Never heard of it. Like Settlers of Catan? Because Settlers of Catan is nothing like this, so if that's what you mean. And welcome, Snafu. Glad you could snafu with us. Come on, trade post, you can do it. We're still having log shortage and firewood shortage. If everyone freezes to death because of a firewood shortage, I'm not going to be happy. Do you have firewood? Yeah, oh, we're getting low on firewood. Time to pause all the buildings again. I shouldn't have unpaused so much at once. We ran out of wood and we ran out of firewood, and now everyone's going to freeze to death. So this one's almost done. We'll leave it, but everything else needs to be paused. Pause, 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 pause. Down to 4 build jobs. Alright, looks good. So Forester's Lodge needs some more people. Let's get down to 1 builder, 1 laborer. We'll build things super slowly. And make sure we don't die. Settlers 4 is apparently a game that I know nothing about. Alright, Settlers 4. We're going to look you up. Although I don't know that I should be taking game recommendations from somebody's wife. If she's anything like my wife, she doesn't like the same type of games that I like. Settlers is just like this, but you can also make armies. And it's more cartoony. Yeah. So this game is built by one guy, and everything, including the graphics and all the other stuff, is done by one guy. So like, it's got a very limited scope. It's more impressive that he did it than it is meant to be like a long-term. You can play this game for 8,000 hours, and it's awesome. It's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's challenging. I'm dying a lot, but I don't think it's got the in-depth like let's build an army and attack another thing sort of whatever. Settlers is slow. You kill your opponents. I don't know. I don't know anything about Settlers. I'm sorry. I tried to research it, but I got bored. I was like, Alt-Tab. When I Alt-Tab, the game pauses. That's not right. Alright, looks like our log situation is recovered, so we can reduce our foresters back to 4 and unpause some more buildings. I don't think we really need a lot of these buildings. We need to assign somebody to start carrying stuff to our trade depot so we can start farming. I don't know that we need a market. I left room for a market just because people are always like, you should leave room for your market, because they're big and they're hard to fit in later if you don't leave room. But why would I want a market? It seems like they're just a storage barn that sucks. That they're like a really bad version of the storage barn. That's what I think of a market as. We also, once this hospital's done, we need an herbalist. So we'll get to herbalist. There you go. Build it halfway between our two gatherers' huts. Settlers is on the Amiga. That's got to be like an old gaming system, Mr. Amiga. Mrs. Amiga. Our population is up to 29, and we're in the 11th year. Wow, 29 people in the 11th year. That's pretty sad. Don't kill off your entire population early, I gotta tell you. It's bad for growth. So our food is skyrocketing. It's nice and heavy. Pretty soon we'll have some diseases from our new traders. It's gonna be great. Everyone wants diseases. Go, diseases, go. Kill all of our peoples. All of our peoples. So yeah, this game is very similar to Dwarf Fortress, except it actually has graphics in the, you got a bunch of little people and you give them broad strokes jobs to do and then you watch them do them. But it doesn't seem like there's any like skills or specialization, and there certainly isn't any military, and there's no goblin raids, and there's no fighting. So they took out a lot of it. Because it'd be a lot harder for one guy to do that much stuff, man. The guy who's been working on Dwarf Fortress has been doing it for 12 years or something, 19 years, a long time. So he's had a lot more time to get this done. The guy who wrote this game, he has a little dev blog where he talks about his progress in making it. It's kind of interesting to read because I'm a programmer. And I couldn't imagine making an entire game like this. I can imagine easily making a game like Dwarf Fortress. I mean, not like in a short amount of time, but I don't imagine it'd be very complicated. It'd just be time consuming, but not complicated. But this game has so many different pieces. He had to do all the graphics and all of the, the whatever it's called, this 3D graphics stuff. Maybe it's easier than I think, but I'm very graphics averse. So now we got to decide what we want to trade with our neighbors. In general, I like to trade hide coats because it's funny, but you can't put too many there because then we'll die of lack of hide coats. So it's good to trade something that you can easily get so much of that you're never going to miss it. Trading food, for example, is a good idea. So let's trade. Yeah, food's cheap. Venison, that's why. In order to make clothes, we need to get way too much venison. We don't need this much venison, so we might as well trade it. That's what we'll do. We'll trade 200 venison. So we need to get usually about 3,000 value into the trade depot to trade. And I think venison is probably worth 2 each. So to get 2,000, you need like 1,000 venison. I don't know that that's a good plan. Try to get 1,000 venison into the trade depot. Stone and iron sell pretty well. Firewood probably sells okay. I've usually done hide coats because they sell for 15, and that's just an easy way to get 2,000, right? So this would be 400 plus 400 is like 800. Still not enough. Well, let's trade some stone and some iron and some firewood. We'll just do a little bit of everything. Some mushrooms and potatoes and some roots. Some onions. Some logs. Seems silly to trade logs when you could trade firewood, because firewood just is logs. There you go. That's good enough. I only really downloaded it because Settlers wouldn't play on her new laptop because it's a widescreen and I want her old laptop for Linux purposes, but she still uses it for Settlers 4. You just said Settlers 3 and now it's Settlers 4, man. Settlers is like releasing new versions every conversation. Okay. We need a Doc Ock to be an octopus and a doctor at the same time. And then we need some herbalisms. Should probably reduce our hunters by 1. Ooh, someone died. We'll reduce our hunters by 1 more. Someone died of childbirth. See, I built a hospital so you wouldn't die of childbirth, and then you just go and die of childbirth on me. It's not cool. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that this is the type of game that so my wife would like. Whereas there are a lot of city building games that I think she would like SimCity, for example, is nice and relaxed, and it's all about like, oh, let's put up this, and it's fun. But this is like, it's much easier for your entire population to die in this game. I think that would be really frustrating for the laid back type of gaming that my wife likes to do. I don't know if your wife is different in that way. Everyone's wife is the same. They're all interchangeable, obviously. So what's the value of everything I've brought to the depot? Stone is worth 7, iron is worth 5, potatoes are worth 1, firewood is 4, venison is 3. Oh, venison's actually worth 3. That's better than I thought. Alright. I'm going to take a short break because if I don't, I will say again. So that's the end of this episode. We got our trade depot finished. We built a whole second town over here. We started an herbalist and a hospital. And we've got all the subsistence stuff going, as well as the long-term mine and stone quarry, and it's good times, really, had by all of the people who are having good times. We're running into some happiness problems. We've got a lot of unhappy people. I think we can solve that with booze and farming, but we'll have to do that next time. So, pause. Be right back. Alright, was that the longest break ever? I just had to blow my nose. It took like 2 seconds. Alright, so this is going to be episode 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Good times. Okay, so we're back. Banished episode 4. Where we left off, we have basically 4 different city centers. There's one over here with a gatherer's hut and a stone quarry and a mine near it with some houses and some stockpiles. Then over here we got all of the forestry stuff and all of the town stuff, including the trade depot, which is important, and the hospital and the well. And then over here we got another little gathering town center set up. All these people have to run their food back and forth to this storage barn. All of these people have to run their food back and forth to the storage barn or the cart. These guys have to run their food back and forth to the cart. And these guys running it to the storage barn or the cart. So There's a lot of walking going around from my citizens. I would like to make it more efficient so that they don't all have to walk, putting a storage barn next to each place and having enough houses in each place to really make everything work properly. But I wear these carpal tunnel gloves so that I will not have carpal tunnel problems. I do not have, and I never have had problems, but it's preventative. Why not? I spend my entire life on the computer. If I ever had carpal tunnel problems, then that would not be good. Basically, my older brother does almost nothing on the computer. And he got a job doing data entry, which is all typing on the computer, like 8 hours a day. And he immediately developed carpal tunnel because don't go from 0 to 8 hours a day. And so he wears these gloves, and he said it fixed his problem and it prevents him from having problems. And I was like, well, if it works for him, it might as well work for me.
Ben,
Yeah.
I gotta go home and get ready for work, but the last time someone was supposed to say
Yeah, that's fine.
alright, Sean's home, so if there's any problems or they want to go home, just call Sean.
I will.
Alright.
Thank you.
And Nora's sleeping, so
Oh, okay.
but she's got a rash on her butt, but I put some stuff on it.
Okay.
I feel like something.
Yeah. Herbalism. We've got 12 medicine in a hospital. I've never seen the stock of medicine go down, right? Every game I make some medicine, and then I take my guy off herbalism because nobody ever actually uses the medicine. So now that I have a hospital, maybe some of it will get used, but if this number ever goes down, I'll be shocked because so far it never has. Our tailor is full on clothes, and our blacksmith is full on tools. I think we can go up to a higher number of both of those because I don't think we need the laborer. We don't have any buildings currently active. Ooh, that was lightning. I had carpal tunnel and had to have the tunnel cut. It was nasty. I've heard that surgery it's like worse than 50-50 in effectiveness. So I'd rather just not get it in the first place. It seems like that's always a better call. I think we need more houses if we want to grow our population to 50, which is my current goal. I want to unpause some of these buildings. I'll just do those two. I don't know why I would need those houses. We lost our stone quarryman because I guess he died. Oh, and our trader is coming. So I'd like to reduce. Oh, we only have 6 people gathering food right now. That's a little bit dangerous. We've got so many specialists. We're branching out into too many specialties before we have enough people to provide food for them. Like your ratio of food and clothes and raw materials gatherers to specialists needs to stay constant. So if we keep adding more and more specialists without adding any of the other guys, it's like, I don't know. It's the first time you saw me and I'm handsome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The trader is ready to trade. In order to buy this, I'd need 2,500 bucks worth of stuff. I wish there was a button that just said trade all. There probably is. It just makes so much sense that there would be, right? I guess I can type 20. I've only got 620 bucks worth of stuff in the trade depot. And I'm not swimming in enough stuff that I want to really put more than that there. So we're going to pass on this bean seeds concept. We're going to queue up enough stuff so that we can buy the next one. We need 2,500 bucks worth of stuff.